All right, good afternoon, everybody. We are Friday, May 15th. Man, I don't know if it's just me, but being home with my kids really makes me lose track of what day it is.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one
Totally
of the
lose
things
track of
going
what
on.
day it is. My daughter says, I can usually keep track of the day. I can't really tell time, but I know usually what day it is. And
Mhm.
I'm like, well, you got me beat there. So good conversations at home right now.
Yeah, that's a
Listen,
good spot.
yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to get Facebook open on my phone so I can follow any questions we have. We are back for College Rodeo 101. Uh, round, I don't even know what round, week 3. You can tell I'm all discombobbled today because I'm not on my talking points here. So today we have West Hills Community College in Coalinga, California. Listen, the only reason I even know where you're at is because my brother went to school there.
Yeah,
And
he did.
such a small world. So you were there when Sean was there.
I was. Yeah, I was full circle for me when it comes to West Hills. Is I came here on rodeo scholarship in '88 or '89 actually. Worked and rodeoed for Bruce for 3 years, and then decided to go out there and try to make a living with a rope for a while, and eventually entered in back into school. And I think it was like '96. My wife got a job up here teaching school because I'd met her when I was going to college, and we moved back up here. I started assisting Bruce at that time, like in the mid '90s, and stayed with the program for about 3 or 4 years. Got to go to Fresno State and kind of be the rodeo club kind of advisor type coach. It really wasn't a position at the time while I
Yeah.
was going and finishing out my teaching credential, and came back after that and been here. Like I said, we've been here for 20 plus years, 25 years now, and Bruce, was here for 31, and
So it's
just
so great to talk to coaches like that. You know, Bruce was there for so long and now
yeah,
it's just amazing kind of I don't know, the rich history in some of these programs. It's the same here with Casper College.
yeah,
It's just so cool to see coaches come and stay for so long and put so much of their life um, back into college rodeo. It's great. So listen, I want to talk about Bruce. I've had an opportunity to meet Bruce in the past and work with him in the past,
mhm,
and I don't know that I've met you. I thought surely if I could put a face to the name, then I would recognize you. And I don't know that
right,
I have. So
right.
next year I'm going to find you.
Yeah, I'm up there. I've been a part of it for quite some time now. I think I'm going on my 7th year here at West Hills, but we all got jobs up there. I'm usually down around the time Davinian. I've had my opportunity to be the faculty director for our region now for 3 or 4 years, and so we get to hang out with all that crowd at the NRA board and enjoy that part of it
Oh
too.
yeah.
You know, Casper's a great spot. I'm so bummed that the college finals were canceled because it's a favorite trip of mine to be up there and hanging out with everybody up there.
Yeah, I know. I keep saying it. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do for that week in June because I
Yeah,
always take it off from work so I can help, Sarah and Claudia in the office or do whatever I can. So well, it's going to be weird. I guess I'm going to have to work.
yeah, it's a sad time, no doubt, and I'm pretty bummed out, like I said. But as we build on it, and hopefully we get through this sooner than later, and we come back and we don't. Hopefully this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Before we go into questions about the college and your rodeo programming,
Mhm.
that's one thing for sure about this community is that coming together through this platform or any other type of platform, it really is just a big family. So
Yeah.
there's no doubt in my mind that the NIRA will hold strong and college rodeo will continue on.
Yes, it seems like the relationship there is pretty solid, and it's going to be that way for a while. And when I'm up there, and I know I speak for a lot of the coaches and a lot of in our region and other regions as well, is it's a good spot. It really is, and the people there are so nice, and they're welcoming and so helpful and respectful, and it's just a good place to be. And like I said, we're going to miss it not being there this summer.
Yeah, for sure. So, hey, why don't we talk a little bit about what you've got going on there in Coalinga? Where are you guys located?
All right, so we're right between Fresno and like Pismo or Paso Robles or San Luis. So we're about right in the middle. We're about 12 miles off Interstate 5 in a little place called Pleasant Valley. It's a town of about 10,000. Coalinga has always been a very rural town. It's been small. It never really has developed into too much other than, the college is the the lifeblood of it. So, you know, I'll say I know Jet was mentioning how nice Casper was because everybody can get to, some stores and some major stuff. Whereas here, we don't have that opportunity as much. So, there's a few things but there's no name brand, big malls or nothing like that. They have to drive to Fresno, or they got to drive to Bakersfield, or they drive over the coast, and right in the middle. So it's easy access to a lot of different things. But I've been here for 25 years and I still like it. But what's happening here, now in California, it's tough. So it's something that we just keep working on, trying to make it
Yeah,
good.
for sure. Talk to me a little bit about the community. I think what I'm looking for here is, do y'all get community support for
Yeah.
your program?
Yeah. Bruce, when this program came in here in '85, I believe it was, it kind of had a start before he got started here, but he put so much emphasis into the community, the community involvement. I created a booster club, the West Hills College Rodeo Booster Club, and it is a phenomenal club that does a lot for this program. It's, according to our administration, we want to make sure and keep that going, and it has continued to run. And a lot of our local people get involved in it, and they continue to push through fundraisers such as dinners and different roping events and, breakaway ropings and barrel races and such. We try to put on some high school rodeos out here, and that's always been something that the community is very proud of. And you can see that in our facility, because it was a measure that pushed all of that through to get that facility built.
That's impressive. I think, of course, it was different when I was rodeoing. It wasn't really expected that a college would have their own facility and practice facility. And I think it's kind of more the status quo now than it was then.
Yeah. And
so it's real good.
You try to, there's so many nice facilities now, indoor, outdoor, stalling areas. I will say that they held no punches here when they built the new facility. It's been there about 8 years now, about maybe 9 years, and it's unbelievable. It looks like a municipal ballpark.
Nice, very cool. It sounds like fun. So listen, let's talk about some of the academic side of the school. Maybe mention, we got Tony Branquino is tuning in.
Alumni.
Yes, that's another one of the great coaches in college rodeo.
We had all three of them.
You.
We had all three of them.
That's
here.
Funny.
Yeah, we had Luke. Tony was first, and then Casey, and then Luke. I wasn't here when Luke came, but he was here for some time, I should say, before he was off to bigger and better things.
Yeah. And then he just said, proud to be a former West Hills Falcon.
You bet. Yeah, there's a lot
That's
of
cool. Thanks, Tony.
You talked about that a minute ago. There's deep roots here at West Hills, and it goes back to a lot of guys back in the mid 80s and late 80s. You look at, Clay Ring up in the Northwest, and Clay Hurst, and just to name a few, they've put this place on the map. Bruce did a good job.
Very cool. So
academics.
Sorry.
Yeah. Fine. On the academic side, we live by a motto here at a small community college. Once you go here, you can go anywhere, and it's really set the tone with our transferable degrees. We've sent out a bunch of them. We have a great relationship with Cal Poly inside our own region in Fresno State, and we try to get these guys done in 2 years. We have a 2-year run that we try to keep them on track in program with whatever they would like to do. There's some CTE programs as well that kind of drag it out a little bit with those that aren't planning on taking it to the extreme when it comes to graduating from a 4-year or getting a master's or such as, but it's a great place and lots of opportunities here at West Hills in regards to the variety of programs. It's typical
Okay,
community
great.
college with all the availability to move on to the next level. Once you go here, you can go anywhere.
Perfect. So, and we've talked about this kind of with all the other colleges as well. Talk about what, I guess, college like campus life is like, and then potentially maybe for freshmen that are coming in, what are some of their housing opportunities? Are there dorms? Is it off campus?
We have dorms. We have a full service athletic department. One of the unique things about West Hills is that we have the availability to stay under the athletics program. So we are considered a team at our community college, and that's a lot different than a lot of the clubs throughout the NIRA.
Mhm.
So we're funded by our college. We have a big budget, and obviously, to have and maintain a facility like we have, it needs to be that way, and we appreciate it because like I said, the community, and not only the community, but our administration and our entire West Hills Community College is behind the rodeo program. But there are dorms, and it's we have the residential living package. You have the meal plans and the stay packages, as well as lots of small town opportunities with rentals. A lot of these folks here in town will rent out to the rodeo kids. They kind of invest. They invest in your program as well. So what they do is they'll buy their, do a little bit of real estate transaction there, and then rent their places out to these guys. So a lot of opportunity.
Sounds good.
In the dorms and outside.
Awesome. Perfect. So we already talked about the academics. Why don't you kick off and start to talk more specifically about your rodeo program?
Like the rodeo program is we always say that it kind of speaks for itself when they get here, because like I said, in a small town of 10,000, the emphasis is there's not a lot to do other than take care of your business in the classroom and get out there and take care of what's going on out there. You have 90, I think there's 90 horse stalls covered. They're on mats, automatic waters, there's storage units, and 3 full service arenas that we run. We got a rough stock arena, and we have we've got a calf lane as well as a round pen for our bull riding, and we're always working to make things better for the clientele we're servicing. And with that said, is emphasis on practice is huge. We practice 5 days a week out there, and it's unlimited. So with our schedule in the community college, a lot of people will set specific practice schedules, and which is a great thing as well. But when we recruit here to West Hills, in our small college, if you're on a transfer plan and on a 2-year transfer plan, there's some of those main academic classes that are going to be offered at specific times, right?
Yeah.
So with that said, we try to stay away from setting our practice schedule, because we want those guys to come out at 12 o'clock, and we'll go through every event we have to go through to service each one of our team members and program individuals with their practice needs. So we go from about 12 to anywhere from 12 to 6 or 7 in the evening to 12 to 9 p.m.
So the first thing I think of, obviously we're in a lot different climate than y'all are.
Yeah.
So we're limited. I mean, obviously we can ride in the barn in the winter, but I guess, what does it look like for you guys? Are you guys practicing year round? Do you guys take time off? What does it look like?
We start in early August, and it's a little warm here in early August, no doubt. We're in the 100 plus here in this little area we live in, and so we really got to kind of watch that type of the heat in the beginning. But we get through that little stretch of the late summer there, and then we're hands on for the remainder of the year. So we don't stop other than a little bit of rain. If it rains us out, there'll be a day or two where we get a little wet. Our arena's not covered, but we have it's a sandy, kind of a dry, arid climate. I mean, if it rains 2 inches, then you're back in the arena the next day, type of thing. So that's really the only time that we're off. So I'd say the practice availability of because of the climate is spot on out here.
So you guys just go all year, like in between the seasons, you take time off, or do you just keep on going
Yeah,
and
we'll
allow
take,
it when it's possible?
yeah, we start in August and we'll go through December. We take, that Christmas break off. We're back in early January, and then we continue to practice all the way through the end of May. So we tie into our college schedule with, our first set of rodeos. We try to have 4 rodeos in the fall and
Mhm.
6 in the spring. So we try to get, usually those fall rodeos are right around the middle, I should say late September, middle October. And then we come back in the spring in March. So there's a lot of spotty, a lot of downtime right there. So we gotta stay hooked on keeping them busy.
Yeah, man, I can't imagine going to rodeos in March around here.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be that, and we have that problem maybe up in the, we go to Lassen up in Susanville, and it gets a little chilly up there. But they try to keep theirs right around the end of September, first part of October.
Mhm.
And then we're at Quincy, California at Feather River right after that. We try to spread them out. And then we're at Fresno State's usually the first rodeo back in March in the spring. And then we have West Hills comes right behind that. And then we go to Cal Poly and Cuesta. And, Ben's done such a phenomenal job over there, really showcasing that rodeo. That's unbelievable. And then we have our regional finals with Rick over at UNLV, first part of May there at the South Point. So a lot of great stops along the way for these kids and these student athletes in the West Coast region.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned the practice facility and the boarding. Now, are kids allowed to board their horses there? Is there a cost for that?
I do not. One of the recruiting tools that I use is, we don't charge for stalls, and as long as them horses are getting out of the pens and not standing in those stalls, I'm good with it. And then we don't charge it like a practice fee. So it's one of the elements, one of the things that I use to try and recruit. Because I know a lot of places will try to get a lab fee for practice, and which is understandable, and stall fees are the same way. I know in the past, and I've heard it on here as well. I think CJ talked about it. Maybe Jet did the same thing. But if they're not going to take care of their stalls, they're dang sure going to pay some. That's the only way you can get to them is getting their pocketbook.
Yeah,
So,
that is true.
you know,
That would also be why there are fines in college rodeo.
it's
And I get it.
same deal.
It's real easy to leave them sit there for a little too long and let it pass. So I think
Well,
it's a good.
and all of us as coaches, we've kind of been raised a certain way and in the
Mhm.
lifestyle, and by people that kind of best practice. We've learned along the way what best practice is, and these horses can't stand in a 12 by 24 for very long. They got to get out. You got to get them exercise. As long as you're, like I said, as long as you're taking care of your business with your horses and taking care of your pens, there's no charge to that. And
And how about practice stock?
yep, good deal. We try to lease all of our stuff. I got a friend of mine, and he does a great job. It's a contact that I made years ago, and he keeps me in whatever I need. And it's part of our budget. It's something that really makes it easy for myself, because not only am I the rodeo coach out here, I got a full load of history classes. I teach history here at West Hills, so our load is made up of history teaching and the rodeo athletic classes. So that's something that I don't have to worry about too much, because he, if I need to swap a few out, he's there the next day with fresh stuff. And when we're putting on ropings, he'll bring in whatever he needs to put on the roping for us. And it's just a great, a great relationship that we have. And I went with the owner operator type thing there for a while in the beginning, but it's tough because, you have to kind of, you inventory everything in the community college system, and it can be challenging when you try to take them to the sale, when you need to farm them out and flip flop your herd or get some different ones in there. So I think it's better this way, and we do the same thing with our bulls and our bucking horses, and we got a lot of guys around here that are raising bucking horses and bulls, and so that opportunity for these guys is huge. with good stock. We tried, one of the things Gary LeFew said one time, and I'll always remember this when it comes to rough stock, I've always tried to emulate it, in the bull riding. It's, sometimes we spend too much time making bulls and not bull riders. And so we've always tried to emphasize here at West Hills, you know, matching the talent up with the quality of stock. If I've got guys here like, I know CJ was talking about one of his bull riders, and he's going to have some stuff that's going to be pretty good around there. And we do the same thing. If we got guys that are riding at a higher level, we're going to match them up the way they need to be matched up. So we don't, safety is always the first thing that we want to keep in mind.
Yeah, that sounds good. So
Yeah.
I feel like, I know when I was in college, I used to bring my goats everywhere.
Mhm.
Just because I knew sometimes it could get overlooked, but at least I knew if I had my two, then I had something to practice on.
Right.
Y'all provide stock for the goat tires as well?
Oh yeah. We
All
got,
right.
we've gone, our teams have always been pretty well balanced here. And it is again this year. We had a really good recruiting year. Our numbers are going to stay right in the late 20s to mid 30s. I've always kind of went after the, quality over quantity type of emphasis. And so with the women's team, I got Brooke Jackson, who's my assistant coach, who's done a great job over the years with the women's side of it. And the funny thing about our deal here is we have a gentleman by the name of Mike Kennedy that raises goats in our area. So he's got thousands of goats just, miles around our town that are easy to just go at, very accessible. So yeah, we got a great little goat pen that they got, just go unlock it and get to tying them.
Yeah, it's nice to have that kind of almost a feeder program, because then when they start to learn your tricks, you can just swap out and get a different one.
Yeah, he's been always been real good with, like I said, and that's a community, community member that's helped us out quite a bit. And then
Awesome.
the breakaway calves are again leased out, and we've always got at least, I don't know, 20 to 40 breakaway calves over here that we rode. So it's
great. So let's talk about this fall. I know that the National Letter of Intent, the signing day was in March.
right.
Are you done recruiting for this fall? Do you still have some openings? Do you
Always
have any
have
scholarship
openings.
money?
Yeah, always have openings, and we are, with the scholarship program inside of our booster club, there's always opportunity. This year is going to be unique, no doubt. We got a lot of cuts in the state of California, and we are a California community college, so we're going to get hit pretty hard. We're going to have to tighten up the screws a little bit. But the booster club is a separate entity. They're a foundation-run program that continues to maintain the scholarship opportunities, the scholarship account. So we're never done recruiting. I'll take them till, I get calls weeks after school starts sometimes, with guys that are wanting to do it. And like I said, the letter of intent is another hot topic. I've always never really held it over anybody's head, to tell you the truth. And the reason why is because, if I had that, I probably would be one of those guys that, well, gosh dang, I don't want you to hate it here, but I really don't want you here if you're going to hate it. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the last thing that you want to have to deal with. So we only want them here if they want to be here.
Yeah. So we do have a gal that's tuned into every single one of our interviews.
Right.
Are you requiring the SAT from Canadians this year?
No. The one thing that I will say about California that we've been trying to do away with for a long time, and I told you this the other day when Sean and Jimmy and them guys were here, it was a lot easier to recruit to California because the out-of-state tuition wasn't so bad. Had a good neighbor program that really tied into building up our program. Well, now the out-of-state tuition, it's a little pricey, but is it impossible? No, because we have 3 student athletes from Hawaii this year. So they've come out here, they've done a great job for us. And, I've tried to get the maximum I could get them through the scholarship program to offset some of that cost, but it's a little pricey. No doubt. And you think, well, it's a community college education for that kind of money. Well, heck, I could go to my local university and do the same thing. But that's where our facility kind of speaks for itself, and the
Yeah.
ability and the opportunity to come out and really utilize the the opportunities to practice and be here at West Hills College. And like I said, the climate, the academic programs, the practice facility, the region, everything kind of helps, no doubt.
So is that different? Is it different for, like, if you have student athletes that want to come down from Canada, is it different? Are there different requirements for them that
Yeah,
they need to be kind of on top
one
of?
of the things that comes from Canada now is they have to have so much in a bank account, and they come across the border, and then it's the international. We have an international individual here that really manages our international student body very well.
Okay.
And what he does is he's Brazil, Australia. Where else we got? I think we have a lot from Japan. A lot of being a full service athletics college.
Mhm.
He's constantly reaching out in those areas, and same way with Canada. So no, it's not.
Perfect.
It's not hard. There's just a lot. Probably, there's going to be a lot more paperwork to deal with.
A few other things that
Yeah, a
I'm
few
not
other
aware
things
of
for
for sure.
Yeah.
So Justin, is there anything else you want to tell us about your program, or?
No, I tell you what, I was just really wanting to, and I told you I was going to do this to you. I want to tell you, thank you for doing what you're doing. It really promotes our sport, and like I said, I wanted to ask you this question so everybody else knew, because I know there's a lot of them that want to know why. How did this begin?
So I kind of told you this through this COVID deal. I don't want to say I'm locked at home, but I'm kind of locked at home.
Right.
And I really wanted to do something. My husband and I both do real estate here in Casper. And so I wanted to do something on that page to kind of give back to my community. So I started doing just Q&A Thursdays on our real estate page. And I interview nonprofits, and then I interview real estate, like kind of just tips and tricks for real estate buying and selling. And so it got me to thinking, one of the coaches that I interviewed early on, I saw something on his page about, hey, I want to get information out about my college. What do you guys think about that? And I was like, oh, hey, I could help you with technology, because I just figured it out over on this page. And then I got to thinking more about it, and I was like, hey, I could do this on my Bullfrog page. The story behind Bullfrog is that was my horse in college, in high school and college.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, he was the horse. Like, I think Sean took him to Riverton a couple times, the team rope on. Like, he was my main man. And so
Right.
When he died, that was kind of the end of my career. I was lucky enough to have my parents help me purchase him, and
Mhm.
I'm not quite so lucky and don't really want to spend that kind of money on another horse. And so it just kind of faded. My rodeo career kind of faded off, and I just grew up and started doing other stuff. And so to have the opportunity to come back around and do, at least write about my experiences and take pictures and be involved with college rodeo. I've been involved with the CNFR for ever since it's been in Casper.
Right.
So 20 years. I mean, my entire rodeo career, my entire college career, and then also since I've graduated, I've still tried to be involved. And so this was just kind of a way for me to stay involved and kind of give back to that community like I am in real estate. So that's kind of where it all started.
Well, I tell you what, we sure appreciate the opportunity, and I speak for everybody that on the NRA, and everybody's been a part of this deal. I know it's a great platform to be able to get on here, and social media is it's an outlet that it's huge connect now. So
it is, and
you.
I think so often it kind of gets a negative, because it goes negative so much.
Mm-hmm.
I see more people using it for positive now,
right?
Which I'm totally on board for. So I think it just can be used for so much more stuff like this, especially. And I would add that, I have a marketing background. And so I think when there's somebody else tooting your horn for you, it really helps. I mean, it just makes it a lot easier to promote your program. And, I'm an avid supporter of college rodeo, because I really feel like those kids that wouldn't have gone to college, or maybe wouldn't have pursued higher education, are given an opportunity to pursue higher education that through rodeo that maybe they wouldn't have before. And so I think it kind of opens the doors that maybe they wouldn't have without rodeo.
I agree completely. I agree completely. And like I said, thank you.
Well, I appreciate the
Yeah.
support. Makes me nervous. I've never seen so many videos get so much organic views.
Mhm.
And in the marketing world, they talk about that just doesn't exist anymore. You have to pay to get that
Yeah.
kind of views.
Yeah.
And clearly they're not working in the rodeo industry, because when you start sharing information that's valuable in the rodeo industry, in this family, it goes all over in a very short amount of time.
I believe the social platform through like such as Facebook and a couple of the other ones have really promoted our sport to a completely different level, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this will open the doors. I mean, I don't know if we'll do it again, but it definitely
Mhm.
will open the doors of like how you can make changes to your, maybe how you could make changes to your recruitment platform. And then
Definitely.
also for students that are looking to step up to the next level, how they can make changes when they're looking to be recruited. I mean, we talked on Wednesday about YouTube videos, and, I think the video has always been a part of recruiting,
Mhm.
but it kind of just changes the game a little bit
Right.
this day and age.
So what we try to do, to answer your last question that you had for me, was we really promote on our Facebook page, West Hills College Rodeo Team. We also have a website that really has a recruitment form and things to fill out. And you're exactly spot on when it comes to the different areas and ways in which to get your info out there. But we do get a lot of CDs and thumb drives that have all those videos on there, and it's a great keep up the good work for those of us that are doing that, because it's a great way for coaches to really assess talent early on. But I
Yeah,
will
for
say
sure.
this in regards to what you just said is, I like the ones that want to be. I like those that want to learn about rodeo too, because that's promoting our sport as well.
Definitely. And I think that's a big piece behind me wanting to do this also, is
Yeah.
that, I remember I went to college in Missoula, and it's a little bit more liberal community. And I didn't
Uh-huh.
really know at that time, I didn't really know the difference, or, really understand that there was a difference. And my public speaking class was when I kind of really realized that there was people that felt differently than me, when I did
Mhm.
a speech on why rodeo was not cruelty to animals.
Yeah.
And I I think education is key, and knowing the true facts and knowing the truth about the sport and about a majority of the people that operate in the sport is so crucial. And I think that it all kind of plays in to why we do the things we do, and especially why I wanted to do this, is just to get some more education out there.
Yeah. Well, good job. Wouldn't want to raise my kids in any other lifestyle. I know that. So,
I agree.
yeah. Thank you so
We,
much.
yeah, you are very welcome. We just bought a horse for my daughter, and so I think we'll be heading down that path pretty quick.
Yeah. It's a great way to stay in it. And it's, we went through the whole junior high, the junior rodeo, the junior high, the high school, the college
Mhm.
rodeo. And I've got a senior that's going to rodeo for me this year. That's, going through this little, non-graduation thing deal, this year. It's been hard on her. So yeah, great lifestyle, and keep promoting.
Yeah, definitely. Hey,
Thank you.
man, thank you so much for
You bet.
tuning in, and thank you for coming on. I appreciate your support. And for everybody that is watching live, thank you guys so much for watching live. Thank you for the questions and the comments. It's always nice to know that the information that we're putting out is valuable and useful. And if you are, and I say this every time, if you are a student athlete or a parent and there's a specific college program that you want to know about, shoot me a message, and I will do my best to get their coach to join me, or at least get some information that I can give you back. Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. Next week we've got rounds of college interviews. I don't have my calendar in front of me. I don't even know what day it is. My goodness. Apparently I need a Friday and a weekend to recuperate. So I'll get some promotions out so you guys know who's coming next week. And like I said, keep putting out who you want to talk to and what information you want, and I will get as many answers as I can. Thank you so much, Justin. You guys have
Thanks,
a great
Heidi.
weekend.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week.